Good afternoon. Welcome to Travel Talk Thursday with Travel Time. For anyone who's joining us for the very first time, Travel Time has been bringing you these live chats with industry personnel throughout the pandemic timeframe to provide information and give you some ideas for travel dreaming in the future. We've organized these with some of our top suppliers that may have some information that you're not familiar with and some reliable details for details that will give you the option for creating the travel of your dreams when you are comfortable to travel again. With that being said, today we are joined by Tanya Johnson from Uplift, and we'd like to thank Tanya. She's going to bring us all the information about Uplift and how it works and how you can incorporate it into your travel planning once you're ready to begin your safe travel planning again. Welcome, Tanya. You're muted there.
I am muted. Great start.
That's the most famous words of 2020. It's if there's one quote that we're going to be known for, it's "You are muted."
I look forward to that being behind us and laughing about it once again. Yes. But thank you so much for having me here today. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and tell you a little bit more about what we at Uplift can do to bring your future travel dreams just a little bit closer to you. So of course, we have partnered with Lois and her team. And what we are is, simply put, is we're a payment platform. So we've brought to Canada and our travel partners here a new form of payment. And really that's as simple as it is, making travel more affordable, accessible, and rewarding. How it works is you obviously choose the trip of your dreams. So you go through the booking process with your travel advisor, and you then have the option to pay on a monthly basis. So if you work with Uplift, you will choose to pay on a monthly basis. Now,
you would not believe, Tanya, how often we get asked that question, is if there are payment plans available and if people can pay monthly. So this is going to be very welcome news for many of our listeners.
That's great to hear, and we certainly saw, it was a need and a niche that needed to be filled. And one of the special things about Uplift is it's not a layaway, so you don't have to pay for your entire vacation before you can go. You can book today, you can travel next month, so if it's for last minute travel or anything like that, and you'll continue to pay. The payments are over the course of 12 months. It's fast, it's easy, it's very, very quick. It takes less than a minute. Once you receive that application, so you've decided where you want to go, what you want to do, and then you'll go through the application, which is all automated. So of course, Lois or her team, they will send you out the application either to your smartphone or via email. You'll open that up. Click the link, fill out a few simple details, and then we will come back to you with your actual rate as to how much you're looking at to pay for your vacation on a monthly basis with Uplift.
One of the questions that comes to mind is that people will always ask, how much does this cost?
Yes, that's a great question, and probably as popular for us as you're muted. So how it works is we do have a credit evaluation process that we go at, and no two are the same. Our rate currently in Canada starts at 6.24% APR. Important to note it's APR, so that's simple interest. It's a fixed amount. When you look at your application, you will see exactly how much it is. You're under no obligation. So if you're happy with what you see, you can proceed. If you're not happy, you simply drop out and you can go back and use a more traditional form of payment.
So just as a comparison, compare this APR with how you're charged if you put this on a credit card. A credit card has compound interest, correct?
Exactly, it does indeed. So for example, if you're paying for something on your credit card, you are charged every single month on that balance on your credit card. Also keep in mind, if you are currently carrying a balance on your credit card, and recent stats have told us that 80% of Canadians are carrying quite a hefty balance on their credit card. So you're going to put your vacation on that credit card, and it will compound for the total amount on your credit card every single month. The difference with Uplift and with APR, how it works, is it actually gets less every single month. So it's a fixed rate, yet you're only charged on how much is due every single month. So of course, each month you're paying down a certain amount of your travel, so you owe less and less every month. So that percentage is charged on the amount remaining on your balance. So it actually goes down. And one thing to keep in note as well, when you look at your APR rate, so we always estimate it at 15%. So when you get that application, it will be estimated at 15%. And that always raises a few eyebrows. People always think, it's a bit steep. But 15% or whatever the APR listed rate, you actually end up paying about half of the listed rate based on the way it's calculated. So if it says 15%, if that's what you come back at, you're going to end up paying approximately 8%. And it's pretty clear to see. It's written out, so it's not confusing. You'll see it's exactly in front of you before you proceed.
Just to put some of that into like real dollars of things we've seen on some applications. And we've seen the estimates come back at like, say, $125 for a $2,000 vacation to be paid off in 12 equal payments. But then the actual amounts can vary, as you mentioned, by people's credit rating. When their application comes back, it can be less than $100 or as much as $200 or somewhere in that vicinity. So it can be arranged, but you will know what that actual number is before you agree to confirm, correct?
Exactly. And a simple way of putting it, just to put it into dollars for you to make it clear. So for example, if you have a vacation and it's $3,000, the estimated is going to come back at $209. And that's for the duration. That's going to be split up across, of course, all of your payments for the year. So that's a total. So $209 is, as you can see, that's about a 7% of 3,000. 15% of 3,000, I'm using a fast mental math. You're looking more at about $400 or so. So you can see that, 209 would be a lot less. And again, you break that up over every month. You're looking at maybe an additional $24 a month to be able to carry that cost of the trip.
And it's not compounding with everything else you have on your credit card besides.
Exactly. And I think that's probably one of the things people like the most about this form of payment is, first of all, you're keeping your vacation separate. It's not getting thrown in with everything else on your credit card. You see exactly how much that trip is costing, and you know that it will be paid off within the next 12 months or whatever it is. Now, as an added bonus, of course, if you do want to pay it off before the 12 months, you can do so. We don't penalize you to pay it off early, and we'll waive any remaining interest. So you booked your vacation, you go away, you come back, you have 6 months left on your Uplift payments. You want to get rid of this one particular payment, you can do so, and you will at that point only pay for the remaining travel that is due. So it's quite possible you can only have paid 2 to 3 months. So again, at our $24 or $25 a month, perhaps $75 just to carry that payment plan for you. So very, very, very easy to use. I mean, it's very transparent. That's what's nice about it. We're a small team in Canada, and we all come from the travel industry, which is really, really nice. And Uplift works only within the travel industry. So our business model is built for travel because it's a little complex. It's not like buying a sofa,
So let's take the listeners through the process. What would their experience be like once they come to us at Travel Time and they have a vacation? Somebody wants, an all-inclusive package to Mexico, say, and the cost per person is $2,000. Plus they have their insurance quote to go along with that. And it's a couple traveling. So the trip total is like $4,000 plus their insurance is say $250. Okay. So the total we'd be looking for is $4,250 in this example. Just take us through what the process would be for the client.
Exactly, not a problem. So step number one, once you're going through that decision-making process, knowing that Uplift is an opportunity, we have a little calculator. And you can keep putting in the price into that calculator to see what you are approximately looking at. And it will always be calculated at 15%. So again, your $4,000 trip, let's say you look at that and that's going to come out to, I'm throwing a random number at you. Please don't hold us to it. But that's going to come out to, let's say, $50 a month. just to round it off. So you're quite happy with that. You consider that's affordable. So you can look into upgrading. Maybe you can think, well, how much is it going to cost if I upgrade my room? Get that ocean view that I really want. So that maybe will then go up to $52, $53 per month. So you're going to play around with the estimator until you have found the trip that you have decided. And it's like, yes, I have found the trip I have decided. It comes to $4,250. So then what Lois and her team will do is they will send you the application form. They're going to ask for your name and your address, your email address, and your phone number. You're going to let us know how you would like to receive that application. Would you like it to your smartphone or via email? Your chosen method, they will click send. It's a very sophisticated system. It will immediately appear within your chosen form of payment. You will open that application. You will review your name and your trip details as you normally would before you travel. We're then going to ask you simply for your income, for your annual income of the person who is applying. So let's say Lois and I are traveling together, and I am going to pay for the entire vacation myself. I can do that. The minimum is $500 to work with Uplift, and the maximum is $15,000. So we fit well within it for our budget of $4,200 and $500. So I'm going to put my name in there. I'm going to put my annual income, and I click submit.
Next so that is not information that's shared with us, the travel advisor.
Absolutely not. So this is your private and your personal information. It does not go back to the travel advisor. The travel advisor is sitting, waiting patiently for you to fill out this information. And we never, ever disclose your information. We do not disclose your information. We do not disclose the result if you choose not to proceed. The only time it, of course, is displayed back to your booking advisor is if you have proceeded with Uplift. So they know, right, okay, they'd like to pay with Uplift. That's the only time they will get notification. So at this point, you're going to check your name is correct, your address is correct, your vacation is correct. You will hit submit. A consent form is going to come up, which is going to allow us, you're consenting us to do what's called a soft credit check. A soft credit check will not impact your credit score. It simply allows us to determine, are we in a position to be able to offer financing for this particular trip at this time to this particular customer. We look at a few different algorithms that go out there. And then once you have agreed to the consent that we can do a soft check, you will receive a verification code. A verification code will go to your cell phone. So you must have a cell phone to receive the verification code. A lot of systems work that way now. It's an additional layer of security that is provided, I think, with Google, if you get logged out, things like that. So similar process, you'll get your verification code, put it into the application, and then we will do the very quick soft credit check. Within less than a minute, we're going to come back to you with an offer. So we're going to come back based on the results. We will come back to you saying, yes, absolutely, you are approved. And the interest you are approved at is X and X amount, which will start at 6.24%. Again, that's APR, and it can go from there. It does vary provincially because every province has different laws as to the amount of interest that can be charged and so on. So we'll come back to you with an offer based on the information received from you. If you like what you see, we're going to ask you to put the first payment in today, so your deposit. So it is time to pay. You've decided on your vacation. You're ready to go. In the application, you will enter your form of payment. Your form of payment will either be your virtual Visa, debit, or debit MasterCard. So that's your bank card. These days, most bank cards, they'll have a CVV number on it and an expiry date. If your bank card has that, you have the virtual debit or MasterCard facilities applicable to you. Really, you're using your bank account in the same way you would with a credit card, but the funds are coming right out of your bank account. They're not going onto a credit card. Right. So that's step number one. Step number two, you can go directly through your bank account. Again, like online banking. So you must online bank. If you take step two, we're going to route you to your online banking. You will sign into your online banking as you normally would, and you approve the payment. I'm going to get back to forms of payment very soon, but just to say, so you're going to enter your form of payment. The first payment out of the 12 will be processed. And once that is done, you're done, you are booked. You will then be told, thank you very much for using Uplift, and then your agent will then proceed to book your vacation. We then pay Lois and her team, and they will take care of the booking from there on. But as far as you're concerned, it is paid for.
It's paid in full at that point, correct?
Paid in full. You're done, you are paid, everything is taken care of. For you, the customer, you will have access to your own private borrower's portal. Again, it's like online banking. And that's between Uplift and you, the customer. Again, your travel advisor has nothing to do with this. It's nothing to do with them. And you have now entered into a contract with Uplift. And this is where you're going to see when your next payment is due, how much is paid. If you want to make any changes, change your form of payment, communicate with us. There's a chat bot. There's ways in which you can contact us for any question. Again, it's just like your little online banking portal with Uplift. And again, none of that information is disclosed to your travel advisor. Once again, all the financing is done through us. So think of it as almost kind of your banking information with Uplift. Has nothing to do with your vacation. I want to just come back quickly to forms of payment and to let you know that we do not accept credit cards. That's a very important one and a big question. Yeah, absolutely. Like a lot of people ask us, well, why not? Because essentially a credit card is a loan. Some people have forgotten that. And putting a loan on a loan is not very good business practice. It's very important to us that we follow the very best business practice that we can. We are regulated here in Canada under all the financing and the tourism industry regulations that are there. And again, our goal is not to put people into a financial situation that can be difficult for them. And again, so putting a loan on a loan, absolutely the worst business practice you can follow. Therefore, we do not follow it.
So there's two times, from my perspective, there's two situations in the booking process where a client could approach the Uplift situation. One obviously is on initial booking when they're deciding and determining the full amount of the trip, before they've made a deposit. But I see a really good use for this, especially when we're traveling, when we're booking groups, destination wedding groups and so on. They've made their deposit some months ago and it comes time for final payment, and maybe some situations have changed. They still want to go on the trip, but the immediate access to the funds may be a problem for that week.
Yeah.
So choosing to do Uplift would put them on a payment plan for 12 months from that date, correct?
Absolutely correct. And it's a great point. I'm glad you brought it up. And we see Uplift as a great way for groups. As you mentioned, your friends and family don't always get married when is most convenient to you. Yet you still want to be a part of the celebration. So yes, indeed. If you have put your deposit down and then when it comes time to payment, you needed a new roof or, you need to fix your car, whatever it is, you can absolutely use Uplift as a form of payment. So it's there for you at any time. Another nice thing about it as well is you can include any in-destination activities. So again, maybe your group is a cruise or something like that. And, you pay for your cruise, you get on that ship and suddenly left, right, and center, you're hit with all kinds of stuff, whether it's, again, the excursions, drinks packages, everything that tends to add up once you're on that ship. Well, you can, again, your advisor can package all that together. You can pre-purchase that. And that can all go through in your Uplift payment plan. The nice thing, of course, that you're paying in Canadian dollars, you're not paying in local funds, and you're constantly putting your credit card out, and you come home with a bill possibly as big as your trip was before you left.
So that brings me to another thought process that I know people are listening up to this point are going to be wondering, and that is, who is the ideal client for Uplift, and what purposes and types of travel is it best suited for?
Okay, well, we're a technology company, so we do collect lots of data, and we have a pretty good demographic as to our three main types of clientele. The first group, I call them younger, 25 to 35 age group. They seem to really have embraced Uplift for many reasons. First of all, we're not changing behaviors. It's not, well, I've never done that before. So this group embraced it very, very well. The the idea of putting that heavy upfront cost of travel out before traveling, again, is not necessarily that popular to them either. Maybe post-grads who have just finished university, they've got student debt and just bought a home or just moved into a home with heavy expenses. You still have the monthly, paycheck coming in. That means you can afford your vacation, but with already so much going out, it's nice to be able to break it up. So those are heavy users. And again, the destination celebrations, so whether it's a birthday party in Vegas, whether it's a wedding down in the Caribbean, very, very popular with that particular group. The second group we call them our affordable travelers, and potentially the parents of these postgrads and millennials. So a little bit more of your saver. This demographic tends to be the person who likes to save for a rainy day. As you're putting your vacation money away every single month for your reward at the end of it, you like to see what comes in every month, what goes out every month. The nice thing about Uplift is what you were putting towards your savings every month is actually going towards your vacation every month. So it really brings it that much closer. And I don't know about you, but for me, saving is not the easiest thing for me to do. I start off great. It's January. Let me tell you, I have great plans as to how much I'm going to be putting aside every day for my rainy day fund. I get off track very quickly with that. The nice thing about when you're paying towards it, of course, through Uplift, is you're not going to get off track, and that vacation will still be there for you at whenever you're ready to go. So that's our other group, and our third group, we call them our rewarding travelers. So this is if you maybe have something special coming up, if you have an anniversary that you want that more enhanced vacation, the 3-week coach tour of Europe, or that safari, or right now, which is becoming a bit of a trend, will be small family groups. The world has changed. And wanting to travel with, your parents and your children, a group of 8 going to celebrate something together, that makes that a lot easier for small family group travel, for that more rewarding trip. And I call it the bucket list trip, and really brings the bucket closer. You can celebrate your 60th on your 60th, not your 63rd, once again, because Uplift is going to bring that a lot closer to you. One other thing, which I actually saw happen, which was great. We were approached. So this particular couple had put their certain amount of money away for their dream trip. It was a safari. I think they had about $6,000. What they ended up really, really wanting was about $8,000. So you can split the payments. What they had saved towards their vacation, their $6,000, they paid their travel advisor that, and the balance, the extra $2,000, they used with Uplift. So again,
a great plan, because lots of times the vacation that somebody can afford today to purchase is not exactly what they want. It's a few thousand more. So even if they put the money they have today, into the vacation, and then use Uplift for the remainder, it makes it much less painless for the amount they'll need to pay toward it for the next 12 months.
Absolutely. And when you're doing it that way, if, again, you're looking at a smaller amount, you can be looking at $70 a month just for that extra, which also, again, another thing that we see happens quite a lot is you paid for your vacation, and the month before, suddenly you start to think about big receipts. Suddenly you start to think, oh, well, it would have been nice if we upgraded or we added this, and suddenly you want to add things on. You can use Uplift to add things on closer to your date of travel, as long as it is a minimum of $500. So again, if there's 2 of you on that file, it's quite easy to get to that once you put your in-destination activities together. So and a European vacation comes to mind for me for that. You've got your hotels, you've got your flights, and then closer in, suddenly you want to book a walking tour of Rome or Spain or wherever it is. Nice thing, again, local Canadian currency you're paying in, no exchange rates, and you're saving your cash in hand for in-destination shopping.
That all sounds like wonderful information, and I'm not sure about you, but I'm more than ready to plan a vacation.
Yes, indeed.
This has been a very painful process for somebody in travel to have travel halted this way, but I know many of my clients are in the same situation. We have many people who are very anxious to get back to travel. So having this as a tool, both for groups and for individual bucket list type of travelers, I think it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a great addition to the choices that people have when they're choosing what vacation, the price point of the vacation, and how they'll pay.
It's going to make, and again, that's why we call it making travel more affordable and accessible, because it really does. I think absolutely every one of us right now has dreams of getting away and just taking a break from everything that's going on around us. So it brings it a lot closer. And one thing also, I think we'll notice moving forward, and it's been a trend, not just with travel, but with everything, is what's called the buy now, pay later space. It is becoming more and more popular. Everybody, you've got your Netflix subscriptions and your dance lessons on monthly payments. So it is definitely an affordable way to pay. And so why not travel? You pay for your car lease on a monthly payment, your mortgage is on a monthly payment. So it is the way
we do everything. So why not travel, right?
And I think that's it, it's just to remember, it's not actually as new as we think it is. For anyone who's leasing a car, who owns a home, you've been doing it for years. Right. Now you're just doing it for your vacations.
Well, at Travel Time, we know that everybody's comfort level is going to be returning at a different time, probably depending what part of the country and what type of profession you are in and how soon you get the vaccine. All these kinds of things are going to come into play. But we're here to say that when you're ready, we're ready. We'll be ready to help advise you on a vacation and ready to assist you with Uplift as a payment plan, if that is your choice. And we would be very happy to share this information with anybody who would like to have it on their quote for, a quote that they are looking at for planning, dreaming ahead. Now is the time for dreaming, for sure. And our dreams they've been a long time coming, but the end is in sight. We know that here at the agency, we've been seeing a certain uptick in vacation planning and bookings for later in 2021 for sure, and 2022. So it's not too early to be thinking that way. The normal travel process will come to us once again. We just need to be patient at this point. And we'd like to thank you, Tanya, for sharing all of this great information. I think that it will be a big plus as travel resumes to have this as a choice for people. And for us to be able to offer. We thank you very much.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Lois, to you and your team at Travel Time, and to everybody who's tuning in, echoing those wise words. Travel is coming. Let's start dreaming, because we know that there's, the healing is on its way. So looking forward to better times.
It is for sure. And thank you once again. And from all of us at Travel Time, feel free to tune in on Thursdays at 4 p.m. for more travel talks with Travel Time.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.